10 good people find that difficult to understand. What happened after all? The Taoists are also amazing. Say Ra. Maybe there's been some kind of mutation inside. Our luck is really in DTO. Just in time to find a life. Let's go back quickly. The two then return to the inn. The wise man goes to 10 good places. When I saw him go to 10, I asked, "How's it going?" The innkeeper has not returned. Maybe it was eaten by the devil. I have my doubts about the situation in Thailand. It's growing in a bad way. This place can't stay long. We'll leave soon. 10 earnest nods of kindness. Listen to you. A moment later, the two quickly drove away. Go to the gate for a moment. Soldiers passed through. Just out of town, 10 people asked, "Where are we going to go next?" Or tell the government recently that the Taoist glanced at you. Answer you and go ahead. We still haven't finished business. When this is done, I will come back to find you. If there's nothing but will. Maybe 2 days later. When he finished, he jumped into the carriage. Before I left, I didn't forget to remind myself. Remember carefully after returning, to send a letter directly to the Kizu King. You must go through the city. I suspect there's a problem there. 10 glances at him seriously nodding. Then quickly drive the carriage away. The wise man stood there, watching the carriage go away. Quiet down for a moment, then turn around and go into the forest. After a moment, he stopped, looking up at a tree. Above the tree tops, the mule from the 7 northern wards is hiding here. When he saw the prophet, he spoke, using the disciples of the ancients as bait. Because to give intelligence that takes time. That way, you can do it too. The wise man glanced at him and said, "It's all the same. You're waiting for the news. They don't want us to go in there. By the way, confirm. The contents of the letter sent to me. Is it a real thought?" It froze an hour later and disappeared. He jumps directly in front of the Taoist. What is the situation in the city now? The Taoist immediately responded, "It's not very good. That's 60–70% fewer people than a few years ago. If the missing person all go into the belly of the devil in Taiyan district, then assess this evil. We'll be able to overcome the chaos of the demon General Shinju. Extremitube 6 years ago." After listening to it, he fell into silence. A moment later, he asked again, "Do you use demonic confirmation? And the state of demons in Taiyan district?" The wise man shook his head. "No, my little devil won't come out. They seem to be very jealous of something, living in their million home of Taiyan district. At this time in the forest, someone else came out. It is true, as in the case of the rat. There are martial artists and elites. Our discovery is located in Taiyan district." Stunned, he turned to look at the enemy. "You are the young man." Sun Yin, 10,007 troops. He just showed up behind his back. Suddenly, a female demon appeared. His eyes widened after that. Immediately disappeared in place back and forth to avoid. "If you see that, ask." "It worked," replied the smiling man. It worked. The hanging devil succeeded. Put a rope around his neck. This guy is dead. The urge to see him was such a reminder. Don't miss the man in the red. 80% are the ones behind it. Of chaos in Hanem Dao. Say it is possible to hide the trump card that can break the block. Be careful. Don't be fooled, the wise man replied. I know you talk as much as my teacher. 10,000 troops in place. Look at 2 people facing stress. What did these 2 guys do to me? Poison too is that they're sniffing. Don't wait for him to think too much. In front of you two are ready to go. The dormitory quickly withdrew from the side of the sword school. Wait a minute, when you remember to protect me. Finished talking, he immediately rushed towards the 10,000 soldiers. The 10,000 soldiers quickly took out the dagger behind them. Leave without management. You have to deal with the two people in front of you first. If you really can't, we'll go to Dui Piang to try to remove the aftermath. It just came out. I've been working on a 6-piece eclipse. When the soldiers saw that, they laughed excitedly. Just in time, the two quickly rushed into their pants. Taoists in the distance. Immediately bite your finger and paint it on your face to start law enforcement. I can't use the devil's sword right now. First, use the devil's words to fight back. If you do not fight, you'll use the devil's sword to risk your life. Follow him. On one side of the brain, a demon wakes up. The devil comes out. In front of 1,000 soldiers, laughing and fighting. It's just a little power. Watch out for your new news. There is no real power. I heard him tease. There is no anger but fear. The man in the red shirt came. Even intelligence, replacement of the internal essence of the mule bar. I've got it all. This SAOCA is a big hassle. This could be even more serious. Serious speculation. Certain, we need to bring this up quickly. Thousands of adults are going to use their power. Suddenly on his neck, a purple rope appeared. Then behind him appeared 2 hands clasped. He is the hanging devil of the SAO. The man who took this opportunity immediately stepped back. 10,000 soldiers stood there hugging and screaming. What have you done to me? Pushing him to think. 9 Zhuo Bao Devil's records. Man is hanged by the devil. The devil will try to wrap it around his neck. Slowly squeezed to death. This red shirt, now the opposite so big reaction. It's because the human race has made progress. Kill the devil hanging SAO. The army is a little unbearable now. Half kneeling on the ground, the enemy can't breathe anymore. This feeling is not like magic. It's like the devil is acting. Right now, in his hand appeared another sword. I can't give him a chance to breathe. When the soldiers saw that, they were tense in their heads. I can't play anymore. You have to win fast. This time, it has developed a great strategy. Tinky's sperm bowl. Behind him, now there's a yellow chicken. Extremely large, the army also quickly opened the eyes of the gods. The sky just soars up high. And then follow the yell of Kim. The shape of the chicken around you. The fire broke out violently. From above, straight to the head of the 10,000 soldiers that Lao came. To see this situation, his face changed. Damn, this guy's bow is already big. The explosion hit a powerful explosion. The fire covered an entire forest. The surrounding trees are also overgrown. It breaks endlessly. The dust scatters the ground. Now a big hole has appeared. 10,000 soldiers struggled to kneel in the middle of the hole. There are protective earth statues around him. This is his elemental magic. After a while, the land statues slowly disappeared. He breathes red like a dead dog. This pot has become a crystal. That's how important intelligence is. I can't even count it out. At this moment in time, there was a sound in his ear. The link is AI. The 10,000 soldiers looked back in fear. I just saw an iron chain coming from nowhere. He pinned it behind his back. The one who comes out is the Taoist. The soul of the world has been pulled out by him. His eyes widened as the enemy asked. Tell me a little, I want to hear it. 10,000 soldiers calmly glided. The enemy asked. The devil is on you. You are the devil, he replied. That's right. I also go to talk right now. Don't waste words with him. Find the box to seal his soul into the measure. Then, let me share his body and soul. To the kingdom of Qi. Let the high magic party investigate a bit. The background of these red shirts. This laughing army of 10,000. You really think that? You are sure of me now? He just finished. He struck a sword straight into his body. Now he is sure, and the wise man looks at him. Now your body is under control. The soul cannot fight me. What did you take out and turn your face on? Contrary to what people think. The 10,000 soldiers burst out laughing. Haha, you two idiots. Let's take Ra's words for a moment. You are really out with my flesh. Now you're dead because of him. Coming out soon. Follow his voice. His body was filled with white smoke. The first two people quickly brought the soul of the army. Stay away and hide. Watching the Taoists can't understand. Look at the scene in front of you. What happened? His soul is in my place. The body can also operate gas. Calmly respond. It's not gas, it's fire. What do you mean by fire? Not waiting for Du to respond, the army's body suddenly woke up. In his eyes, there is a constant change. And then it stops at the two words alone. See the enemy stand up. The horse immediately gave a reminder. Be careful. The feeling he gave me has changed. It's extremely dangerous, the Taoist nods. It feels good. He looked at the people talking. Why did you lose these two losers? The soul of 1,000 soldiers reluctantly smiled. She was careless. You really lost face. Follow his voice. The first two people and the first two. They were beaten up by punches. What are you kidding? I'm a class of fighter. 2. Even he can't see clearly how he moves. He was beaten up like that. We're so far away. How could he bring his fist over here? What kind of method is this? The guy just stood there, watching the two guys get punched. After a while, he spoke to the forest. Follow him and say that. The first two people escaped being eaten. In the blink of an eye, they look like they've become extremely struggling. People look at them and say, bring the soul of eternity. Put it back in this body. I will keep the whole body for you. Two big eyes. Look at him dreaming. The devil Kier once again wrapped the rope around the enemy's neck. I don't know if he noticed or didn't know. He kept a happy look at the two of them. Interesting in our time. Chinese martial artists are as hard as you. The opposite is rare, if possible. I really want to keep the whole body for you. Right now, the female demon Kier had tied the cords around his neck. He turned his head and yelled, enough play? The demon girl who heard his scream was completely gaping. And the next thing you know, it's just like two Taoists. Fired by countless invisible fists without fail. In the distance, I can see him. Take advantage of the opportunity to draw the sword. Heaven IN 10 carpets out, but he hasn't cut it yet. The man turned his head and looked at him. Then a fist fell straight on him. Look at the head. They are constantly spitting fresh blood in front of young people, laughing. Why do you have to do that? The distance between you and me is so great. In front of the lion and the tiger. The struggle of the lambs. It's just a waste of time. Obedience to die is no better than Sao. He's done. He was once again struck by countless fists. Can't stand up. Then he turned to look at the man. Let me ask you one last time. Bring the soul of the miracle into this body. Do you do it or not? The people are not afraid right now. Close your eyes, scratch your head, laugh. Suddenly, I remember that Master once said, "Who walked the path of martial arts? The fate is that there is no good end." I heard him suddenly talking in the hallway. The red shirt is a little confusing. The Lord doesn't he care about him, he continued. He gave me a chance to be normal. But I didn't listen to him. I don't know the final mission. While he was alive, whether he regretted it or not. Give the choice back to a child. I still didn't understand at the time. What do you finally want to say to a human being? The eyes are plentiful, shouted Lao Tzu. Like the video on the Hugori review channel. Don't beat yourself to death right now. The devil appears. Follow his scream. The demon in the other kidney woke up. Watching the anger constantly emitting on the enemy. The young man was a little surprised. The demon in your body is very powerful. But with your current level, using it is still too reluctant. 20-0310 means passing this time. You'll risk being poisoned and fighting me. If I remember correctly. The devil of Taoism, if you're raised by your own demons and you die. It seems that there is not even a chance of reincarnation. Why do you have to suffer like this? My eyes are steady. Look at the enemy. The old man was happy. Then he glanced at the head that was lying nearby. Can you still move now? My poison has no eyes that can run. Then you run fast. Stay motionless at the landing site. Just let go and fight. No need to manage me. That's what you said. Toxic compaction current photo song fan period. The arc of launching permutation. Toxins are like that, from above the human. Towards the hole that the young man in the red had surrounded. Even though I want to know. How can you use this trick? But I'm not a miracle. I won't let you do whatever you want. Finished talking. There are 3 bright spots behind the back. And then he got punched again. Watch the enemy get hit by his own moves. The young man in red is puzzled. Strangely, his judicial process was interrupted by me. In that toxic zone, you can't stop diffusing out. Think for a moment. He paused his attack and urged the pious to stand still. His cold eyes looked at him. You hit the wrong person. Then his body slowly dissolves in place. It's fake, of course. Since when has he changed? Why can't I see at all? God wasn't supposed to be at that time. When he was talking to his friend. The devil at that time. Maybe it's just a fake impression. That's not far from the poison. Keep your head up and look at your opponent. Haha, I have seen your game. The places that were hit. Hole, it's where your eyes are. Your great school. It's probably the kind that gives power, where the eyes can see. The solution is very simple. Not to be seen by you. The fighting genius of this devilish warrior. It's excellent. You must be well prepared to fight. When you learn to be seen. The way of the red shirts. It's already been solved by the lady. Look at the poison that's coming. The young man immediately jumped out of the way. Maybe this distance doesn't matter anymore. Follow the body back. Iron chain. The link between soul and body is also strained. The army is being demonic. The soul kept on one side now suddenly screams again. Don't move back, you idiot. The iron chain is about to be cut off. The chain is broken. My soul can't fit in. What to do now? The young man did not pay attention to him. Turn your head and glance around, looking for the whereabouts of the Taoist. The 30-day window is more than half over. What does he rely on? You can even win yourself. In 30 minutes, the swamp won't be able to diffuse Ra to this side. The Taoists are hiding below. Toxins are also looking at aesthetic opponents. Because we didn't actually intend to take the poison inside. To fall you, in 30 minutes, a martial artist with flesh and blood like you. The demon Lao's poison was infected to a mild degree. It's not fatal enough. You've only been exposed to toxins for a long time. It can bring in toxins. Your 6-figure 5 is a coincidence. The soul leaves the body. You can't risk breaking the soul chain. I can't leave my soul behind and run away. The soul of the 10,000 soldiers continued to shout. Don't stand there like that, okay? If you can't, change the Mirong lie. He can definitely do it. The young man in red looked at him angrily. Shut up and then look around. Thinking about not even going out. This boy, this is a deliberate determination to keep spending with me. The Taoist hides on one side. Close your eyes and feel. That's ironic. Maybe not injured. It's the most powerful move against a sperm whale. It's as easy to beat a family like you. But in the end, I was killed by someone new to level like me. Now I have a little understanding. The teacher at SAO that year said, the demon lord is the strongest man under the disaster. So that's what Ra is. It's related to the problem of remediation. Follow the fire of life of the Taoist dashed out. The poison is getting worse. Very quickly towards the young man in red. There's no other way. He has developed a physical body. Make yourself stand on the head of the earth. To avoid toxins. Follow him to perform this trick. The link between soul and body. There are signs of tension. Cracking out, the army of fear screamed. Full chained by people. Cut off. The angry young man turned his head and looked at him. Don't need you to say. Then stop. Magic doesn't give the Highlanders any more. But the poison right now, still no sign of stopping. It's still moan men follow the earthlings up. Standing on the earth's head, watching the poison climb. He was powerless to say Ra. We can't solve this moral trick. You choose someone who can solve it. Get out, he just finished. The left eye immediately changes. Finally, we stopped at the 2 letters. Look at the toxins that have climbed to the surface of the land. Angry young man scolded. I've just been sent out to face these things. You are a 7-year-old German. If you can't solve it, don't waste your time. Keep me busy right now. Move to the 10 side. You are still driving back to the east. He looked sadly at the cat next to him. It is clear that Master is in Hongzi. But we can only stand outside the door impatiently. You said I was useless, right? The cat glanced at him. My master is much stronger than you. I'm not standing outside the door with you. The devil is in that box. It's absolutely unbelievable. If not, my master soon unleashed a small demon in him. How did you get inside the probe? Tell me what it's about. Your master threw them away. I'll handle it alone. The cat is about to respond. Then behind a powerful explosion suddenly came. Horse-drawn car, Inui. It's like this. It's like this. 10 good people are also terrified. What's going on? The cat stood up and said, hurry up, the master and the master. I found the person behind it. That was the Venus anomaly. That's why I urge you to switch. The fighting situation is very intense. 10 kindness to hear Kim hugging is even more difficult to understand. The cat was a little angry and said, don't ask. Hurry up, master's education and master's struggle. Super scary staying here is not safe. It will absolutely be affected. Move back to the battle. Now the poison has stopped. Just a little more missing. It could drown the red shirt. But in the end, he was stopped. The young man breathed a sigh of relief right now. It's dangerous. If it's a year late, I didn't even get to this place. The 10,000 soldiers in the distance also breathed out. God, doesn't he have to die anymore? The devil tied him behind his back. It's slowly disappearing now. The devil is slowly disappearing too. Watch out. The devil has died under the devil. The soul is scattered. 10,000 soldiers are now startled. God damn it, that son of a bitch is dead. So who put my soul back here? Two people staring at each other without a voice. Move the scene to the east A. At this time, Ten Deem is traveling with the red shirts. People in the city are slowly waking up. What's going on? I just fell asleep. You too, I seem to be too. Two people are walking, and suddenly the Han dynasty stops. Ten, when you see this, stop asking. Then the great Han looked up at the sky and calmly replied. The sky changes from light to dark. The prison is dead. On the side of Hebei Daimyo. Haiyan Yu is also looking up at the sky, sighing. The prison is dead. Then he glanced back and called out. This person is a self-indulgent. Go investigate a little. What task did you perform before he died? And where did he die? Naughty nodding his head. I understood your letter. Turn the scene to the red cloaks. The army is using something to contact people in the group. We've been trapped in the forest, not far from Taiyan district. Has the mission of the radio station been completed? Tell him to come over and find someone. The same fate of Erkine is in trouble. He's not going to follow the martial artist to Taiyan district. Investigation hung trash. There is also the essence of the great crystal. We've been trapped by them. Now the soul is gone. Trapped in a poisonous hole in the forest. Think you have anything else to say? This monk is the link between the ears. When he heard the Kier ask him, he spoke up. Maybe it's some mysterious force. Quietly take out the arrangements for us only. This world is a real monster. Have the power to harass my own destiny. There are also some people. People listen to it, and then quiet down. Start to delegate. You can go to Thailand immediately. Eardrum link. You use magic, disturbing the natural plan of Taiyan district. Try to extend the time. Court. Discovering the statue of the evil god of Taiyan district. Two people, Qin Yang and Jing Lin, quickly nod to take orders. After the transmission is stopped, just look at the 10 words. The journey of change. I have to go to Thailand to deal with something first. Then, we can take you to our leader. 10. I have no idea if I agree. At the same time, in Liao City, the beggar is sitting in a corner. He's using 8-cent coins for fortune telling. It's been a busy day. I'm about to start working again. He picked up the coin and began to ponder. After a while, he discovered something. Then Ra is the celestial body of the Tun Belt and the mountain of Yin. The police are still investigating the location of death. The cause of death of the head. The devil seems to want to cover up. You can't break a clue like that. If I let you sail with the wind, bring the Buddha to earth, then there's nothing left to play for. I'll give you a little more variation. Move the scene to the right side. He is right now, trying to cover up the fate of Taiyan district. Suddenly, his voice stopped. The red shirts asked, why did the enemy strike again? It was at the time we, about to hide the destiny of Han M. Tao. He's in the department again. Give me some more variables, the other asked. What will be the consequences? Press your hand and then answer. Our next action. You may have a surprise. If forced to intervene, then the variable will produce more. I can't care about SAO. It can only be so now. When the other person heard it, he was quiet. Move the scene to the East A. And millions of families in Liao City. He also transmits sound to two people at the same time. Frequency in Duong Bakui. After each of you has completed your mission. Let's go back to Thailand first, to ruin your disposition. In the evil world, let itself destruct. After the transmission is finished, and then he said to 10. Time is a little urgent. We might be going the closer way. 10 nudging is no problem. Then it comes from the chest. Take out 2 pieces of red paper, then throw it out of nowhere. Immediately, in front of the two, a door appeared. The door slowly opened. I invite 10 people to come in. 10, she is not afraid to go in. This door leads them directly to Tai'an, where the evil medium statue is located. When he saw 10, he laughed. There's fresh blood in the corners of my eyes. 10, she looked at him coldly. Even me, you don't recognize Jupiter. The evil pupils heard her scream, then immediately retract the ferocious look. Face down as good as a dog. It's like a grown-up boy wants to cry. Turn the scene to the king. But now he is back in the place of the devil. When he saw him back, he asked. There are results. Spoiled quickly. It's locked in place. Before the death of the Lord. It's in the Tai and Haiyan Vu, so it's a bit surprising. Why did he run to Thailand? Then in terms of Hatraj, sent a message to urge. It's a local martial artist who invited him to leave the area. Haiyan Vu asked how the martial artist had a background. He immediately replied that he was a disciple of 5 demons. Person 2 years ago, he died in a battle with righteousness. Currently entering level A. Chu 2 is the Devil S sword and the Devil S death fence. After listening to the song, I thought. After a while he gave up. Send it. Tell him. I want to go to Thailand for a trip. Move the scene back to the yard, at the Million Family Academy in Thai in 10. Looking at the trees in the garden is hard to understand. Ask these people. Radio frequency quickly respond, is the rest of the ordained martial artist. Enter this place on your own. It was put like this, because it was very troublesome to handle. They quickly went from the inside out. As soon as they left, a cold crowd gathered. Very quickly, he appeared in front of both of them. As soon as he showed up, he asked if he had finished packing. The frequency of Yang nodding. After cleaning up, the band inside has been broken by me. 8 parts. Just leave the sky swinging apart inside and out. And you are done. I woke up in part. Underground of Tai'an district. It is now based on the order I left. Going back to the city is a good way to start. Move the scene to the Haiyan Vu. He's sitting in front of a flock of cranes. A moment later, the cranes lined up in a short line. A crane on its head with a crest slowly goes out. Its son, Hai to crane Taoist. He walked in front of me and asked me what was wrong. Haiyan Vu looked at it casually replied, how Nam path has changed. I need you to take me there. Turn the scene to the red people. Right now, the 2 Kincheng and Bai Zhu came here. Look at the situation in front of you. It is rare that you will even lose. The body of the 1,000 soldiers is cold. He did not speak. The soul is angry. A lot less words. If you hadn't been sent to help you. Wiping our ass will turn out like this SAO. The jail is poking fun, but this has nothing to do with me. At close range. Look at you 2 little demon level AF so much. A farce that falls into the end. The 10,000 soldiers shouted with anger. You still haven't stopped, have you? Like to cause trouble. The radio on one side is only now. Okay, let's say a few less words. Both of you have been unrighteous all your lives. Every time we meet, we fight. 10 on one side watching. His face is full of question marks. 10,000 soldiers glanced at the sky and laughed. Cause trouble. It's not that we can say at least a few sentences. I still mostly have to watch it. I was angry and cold, and didn't speak anymore. The light continues to look at the body. The army doesn't care about you anymore. What's the situation over there now? Martial artist sneaks into Taiyan district and comes along. It has been dealt with by us. But the soul of 1,000 soldiers in combat was pulled out by the enemy. Where we're missing the trick. Put the soul into disgrace. Now the master of the 10,007 armies cannot move. I dare not move either. Afraid of pulling off. The soul is afraid that something bad will happen. So hold on like this. After listening to the song, I will listen to it. Put your soul in the flesh I don't know. In the negative paint 8 ourselves. Maybe it's just the old man who understands a little bit. The 10,000 soldiers on one side roared again. What do you mean by that? Did you finally get it? When I saw him scream, he quickly spoke up. Not even 100 years old like you. Talk. Could you please respect the chief a little bit? Haha, also ranked the role of long life is very good SAO. You see the enemy moving like that. Then gritted his teeth angrily. The devil is dead. 10,000 soldiers smirked with contempt. Just a little bit of your piety. He also wants to kill me. Right now on the Kin Yang. A powerful potential airflow emitting pressure on the entire school. The 100 Years Army, stop causing trouble. The old man sent me. It's because in us. Only we have the ability to improvise with all the variables. Question, soul. This is really not my forte. But that doesn't mean I have no way to solve your problem. If you want to argue, go home and argue. Don't be here to lose our face. The army listened to him. The teacher turned a cold face and did not speak. When they finished, the two of them looked again. On the opposite side of the body, who now takes over the body of the 10,000. The Kier quickly responded. Another murder. Please relieve the oppression in this toxic pond. Let it continue to diffuse out into the open. The other woman heard that, surprised. Get rid of this battle. Poison in this place. The year will stretch to our feet. Poison of this thing. The mortal body can't stand it. I look at him confidently. No matter if you are poisoned. In the back, you can also let 10,000 things help you detoxify. The other woman was a little hesitant. This is what you said. After saying that, he immediately executed the law. Neutralized the battle. The battle just detoxified once again. The tiger rushed. Very quickly clung to his feet. The soldiers saw it and shouted with fear. If you have any tricks, use them quickly. The poison has reached my ankle. Qin Tianyang slowly took out a batch of water from his chest. In a hurry, nothing will be there. What kind of dog meat doesn't have shrimp sauce? I saw the lake in the sky. The people are amazing. This is the magic of Ra Sao. Open the lid of the lake lot Ra. Then towards the crowd. 10,000 soldiers asked another Mirong. I will call you for an hour. Do you dare to answer? 10,000 soldiers gaping out their mouths. It's gotten to the point where the oil is burning like this. Are you still playing this game? Although he did not understand why, he still said yes. Just finished. His soul is attracted by a powerful force. Sucked into the lake lot. On the opposite side of the Mirong the same. Inside the lake, the sound of 1,000 soldiers. It doesn't stop transmitting. Our enemies are sucked in here. Qin didn't notice. He turned his head to look at the box. Let's go back to Yangshi to find the big bok poppy.